like it's a comment from you. And it says, in real life, most biracial women I have met are just modern Black women with a white parent. Men don't have a voice in biracial spaces. When I put the video talking about biracial men need to leave biracial women alone, lots of biracial men agreed in the comments. Well, what is it that you meant by this? Help us understand.
And in that particular comment, I'm not even because that was actually in my Discord. We're having a discussion about. Well, let me close this up. I got you on my computer too. It's distracting me. We're having a discussion about a gender war in the biracial space,
I'm sorry, give me
and
just one
that
second. I have to make sure that my captions are on my screen because we do have people who are differently abled, and I just need to make sure that whatever
all
it
right.
is that we're saying is able to be heard or rather read. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, so if you could provide some clarity for this, that would be great.
Yeah, that was in regards to the gender war between the gender war coming from the manosphere between black men and black women, and I was referring to that a lot of biracial women hate biracial men, and they shit on biracial men and feel the same type of way about biracial men as black women do about black men.
How
That was
do
the gist of that conversation.
well, how do
But
black
again,
women feel
they're
about
trying to
black
change it.
men?
Huh?
How do black women feel about black men?
They rightfully don't trust black men because a lot of the stuff that black men have done to black women.
Okay. So it says here, in real life, most biracial women I have met are just modern Black women with a white parent. I'm confused by that because what is a modern Black woman with a white parent? That so it sounds as if it sounds like there's a slight against Black women in this comment.
No, it wasn't a slight against black women. I don't really think that's the real. I have to go back and look at it, but I think that was me explaining to them that based upon the gender war, that a lot of biracial women hate biracial men for various reasons that I don't understand, and a lot of and I was trying to compare it to how a lot of black women feel against black men.
Yeah, but see the thing that's confusing to me is where it says
See
here,
it.
right? Most biracial women I have met are just modern Black women with a white parent. So it's like most that I have met are just this. So you're nothing but this. You're just this. Just is the lower part. You are just this. Like if somebody said you're just a janitor, so when you say you are just a Black woman with a white parent, that makes it sound as if there are these problematic groups of people in society, and you are just like this problematic group, except you just have a white parent. So that's the
Well,
part that's just a little confusing.
if that's how you want to take it, that's not how I meant it, and again, that's how people want to. That's how a lot of the haters there they want to portray it, but that's not how I meant it. I
No,
explained how I meant it
listen,
a
I'm
couple of
not,
times.
listen, you know that I'm not a hater. You
Well, I'm
know
not
I'm
talking about you. I'm talking
no,
about
no, but listen, but
I'm
you're
talking
you're
about the women that hated me for having a black wife, that bashed my black wife, that called my black wife a yeti with a burqa on, that called my black wife a terrorist and all kinds of monkeys. So these are the type of women that you guys are getting your information from, and I'm
right.
not really sure if I really want to entertain it.
Right. So, and I understand that I haven't seen those comments. I haven't been a part of those conversations. So, and if people refer to your wife that way, I
I
can
mean,
imagine
I
that.
I posted the screenshots everywhere on my, but I can
Right.
send you the same
However,
thing of these same women saying the same thing, and now
right.
they're on here trying to make me look some type of way when they
No, I
called my
think
wife a monkey. So it's like, come on now.
right, 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 right. So in the right now, you and I are having a conversation. I'm not talking about anybody else's interpretation of this but my own. And as you're talking to me, I am telling you that as I am reading this, it says, right? In real life, most biracial women I have met are just modern Black women with a white parent, which means that the Black women are exhibiting a certain set of characteristics. And then the word modern is thrown in there, which is a manosphere word, right? Modern women. So you're a modern Black woman with a white parent. So you're just like Black women, except you have a white parent. That's what I'm reading that as. And this is the opportunity that if that's not what you are communicating, this is your opportunity to be able to discuss that rather than saying, oh, well, I just have some haters, because I'm not a hater and I'm reading that.
I never called you a hater at all. But what I'm saying is the people getting this information are the same people that were saying racial slurs against my black wife that I was defending. But as I said, I was comparing the way that biracial women hate on and bash biracial men who don't have a preference for biracial women. I was referring that to the way that a lot of black women and black men have that same type of dynamic.
Okay. So basically, you're saying that Black women hate on Black men and bash them in a way that you don't understand.
Sorry, can you repeat that? It can cut out for a minute.
So you're saying that Black women hate on Black men and bash them in a way that you don't understand. That's what you're saying.
No, no, I was comparing how biracial women attacked me and other biracial men in that space for having a black spouse or defending black women to how a lot of black women and black men have the same type of toxic dynamic.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe if you could help us understand what your definition of a modern Black woman is.
I've talked about it on my TikTok channel, so
I
nothing
haven't
new.
seen, I'm trying to refresh my captions right now. I haven't seen the videos that you've done. And look, what I'm gathering is that some months ago, you may have been going through some things, right? I don't know, right? I'm
So,
gathering that you may have gone through some things a few months ago. And so I don't know if this was around the time that you were going through those things. So that's why I'm asking.
well, this video that they're talking about was over was about a year ago, and it was in that pro mix space that it was just a lot of toxic crap, and again,
So
this
you
is me
began
taking that
speaking
out of
toxic
content.
so you began speaking toxic crap as well, is what you're saying?
No, that whole space was a whole bunch of toxic crap, and me and other biracial men were defending ourselves from being attacked because we had black spouses.
You know,
I mean, anyone can look up the hashtag Golden Sphere and see for what it is. You know, that whole space
yeah.
was just
So
horrible.
yeah, so you see, one of the things that we're doing is we're having two different conversations, right? So we showed the video, right? And the video is contained in and of itself. We talked about the video. And you explained, and we talked about the dolls, and we have moved on from there. Now, we're not talking about anybody else's perception. We're not talking about anybody else's opinion of the video. We're not talking about anything that anybody said in any other comments. We're talking about a comment that you made. And I'm just hoping to be able to get clarity, because I'm telling you, as a person who is a supporter of yours, that me looking at this comment, it looks bad, man. This comment looks like an insult to Black women. And I'm giving you an opportunity while you're on this broadcast with me to speak your piece and clear whatever it is that you were meaning to say, because I can tell you that from what it is that I am reading, that this to me looks bad. And I know that if we
Well,
don't clear this up, that when we move away from this conversation, if this is not cleared up, I'm going to take this as an insult. This is why I'm giving you the floor to be like, well, and to give more context, because I don't understand what you meant by, these biracial women are just modern day Black women, and that Black women be bashing Black men in the same way that you're saying that biracial women bash biracial men.
I've explained it. I've explained it.
Okay.
I was referencing the fact that a lot of biracial women were attacking biracial men in that space for having black spouses. I mean, most of those videos like are still up. Y'all can just put in the hashtag. But and I was comparing that to a lot of the gender war dynamic between black women and black men, about a lot of the hate that goes back and forth in that manner. That's all that was. If people want to take it as insult, it was an insult, but I know people will spin it either way. So
I'm not even talking
here's
about
what it is.
people. I'm talking to you. I am taking it as an insult. So
And I'm
what are
telling
your
you, it was an insult. I've explained it the best way that I could. I'm telling you, it wasn't an insult. It was me trying to compare the way that the way that biracial women were upset when us biracial men had black spouses, and how we love black women, to the way that a lot of black women felt when a lot of black men have white spouses. That was kind of the comparison.
okay. So I'm confused as to why Black women were brought into it when it could be any number of women, white women who are upset with
Because
white men who, I mean, because if we're talking about mixed race people, it can go either way, right? It can be white women who are upset with white men for being with Black women, right?
but that's just the little clip that you got. There's a whole lot more to that conversation that I can put up,
Yeah,
that I can
sure.
pull up. That's just the little clip that you all got that they're using to try to bash me.
I mean, it's not a bash if these are your words. If somebody all right, so the broadcast timed out behind the scenes, right? The broadcast timed out. And so let me restart it. Give me a moment. And somebody said that I'm giving the biracial women what it is that they want. The only thing I want is the truth. That's the only thing that I want. And if we can't get to the bottom of what the truth is, then then what are we talking about? So welcome back, Jesse. The thing timed out, but we're back now.
Yeah,
And so the thing that I was saying is, if a person presents, do you confirm that you wrote those words?
yeah. I well, that was over a year ago. It looks like I wrote those words,
Right.
but
So my thing is, it's
hold on.
not bashing if a person presents your words. Nobody is
It's
saying,
bashing. Oh, go
mm-hmm.
ahead.
Yeah, go
Go ahead.
ahead.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, so nobody is saying you're a bad person, you're this, you're that. Nobody is actually saying anything. All they're doing is presenting the words that you have said, and we're asking you for context. That's it.
It's bashing when it's taken out of context. It's
That's why I'm
bashing
giving you the floor to give put it in
and
context.
I know, and these particular women that you got it from, again, are the same woman that called my wife a monkey, called her a yeti with a burqa on. So that's what I'm saying. Like I can put up those on my
Oh,
page, but it's like
you know what? Thank you. You know what? That I'm glad that you said that, because that makes a lot of sense to me. So let's do this, right? Let's do this. Let's do this, right? Um, this sounds very racist. Calling a person a monkey sounds racist. That sounds like how white
yeah,
people behave. It sounds like the words that white people use. So if a person who is mixed race is using racist language towards a man and his spouse, is that the behavior of a black woman or is that the behavior of a white woman? Because I can understand if you said, oh, a lot of you biracials are just white women because you're using white language, or you're just a white woman with a black parent. That's different than saying you're just a black woman with with a white parent. Because black women referring to men with their white spouses by with racist language towards the white women, are they?
So, what are you saying? I was talking about how biracial women were calling my wife a monkey.
Exactly.
And I was saying that these are the same women that was bashing me for having a black wife
Right.
that you are taking the thing out of context with.
No, 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 no. No, as a matter of fact, I think I have clarity because this is the behavior that white people exhibit. Calling people monkeys is what white people do. But instead of accurately characterizing them as behaving like white women, because white women do that. White women say, oh, look at you, you're with that monkey. Look at you, you're with this black bee. White women do that. But when you had the opportunity to call them out on their shit, you called them black women instead.
Well, that's not where I called them out on. I have other videos where I called them out on. This was a whole different conversation that again you're trying to
No,
conflate both of them
I'm
together.
not I'm not conflating. This is the example you gave. You said
No,
because
that's
these
the
women,
example.
can I finish my point, please?
Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
you said because these women called my black wife a monkey, because these black women call I mean sorry, let me rewind. Because these biracial women called my black wife a monkey, because these biracial women called my black wife a yeti with a burqa on, because these biracial women said this, they are behaving like black women. But in fact, I mean, because this is your example, I'm not conflating. I'm using your example and wondering why you use the term black women instead of white women, because these women are behaving in their privilege of whiteness.
And can I respond? You
Of
done?
course, the floor is yours.
And as I said before, because you're trying to conflate, two things, different things I said. But as I said before, I was comparing the way that a lot of these biracial women bash biracial men for having black spouses to the way that a lot of black women feel some type of way when when black men have a white spouse. I was
Okay.
comparing that,
Do white
but
women feel a certain
them
way? Sorry, go ahead.
the the women in my comments section of my videos all believe it. But all say that they feel a certain way. Some of them do, but about half and half say they feel a certain way whenever black men are with all white women. They feel a certain way about the passport bros, you know, and I was trying to convey that in the same way, saying that a lot of biracial women that are hating on black, on biracial men for having a black wife or black spouse, it is kind of like the same dynamic of black women hating on, uh, not hating, but black women
Mm-hmm.
feeling some type of way about black
Mm-hmm.
men having a white spouse or the passport bros.
I'm
The,
glad you
the,
said
the,
that.
that's what that was about. It's not about anything else. Like, you know, again, like I just feel like, as I told you before, like I don't like going on these lives anymore because it's nothing but people bashing and hating, and it's just, and I just
Okay.
don't have time for that anymore.
I understand. I understand. And so we can have an honest conversation right now, right? Okay. When a black woman is upset with a black man for being with a white woman, why is she upset?
Oh, you're a black woman. You tell me.
I mean, but you said that you're the one who made the comment. You made the comment saying
Well,
that they were behaving as if they were black women.
yeah, that they were upset that I didn't have a mixed race wife.
Okay, so
That's
then
what they
so then
wanted.
so then let me elaborate then, right? Black women feel, well, the particular Black women who feel this way, I surmise that they feel abandoned by Black men, that they feel that their community has been left, that they feel that these Black men have gone after society's preference of white supremacy, right? When a Black man gets with a white woman, the Black woman feels as if she is slighted as lesser than, right? Black people don't really have racial slurs for white people. We don't really have racial slurs for white people. And we also live in a racist society in which it is, they say, impossible for Black people to be racist because we are the recipients of racism, right? When a white person, because I can show you a video, and I probably need to react to this video. It would take me a second to try to pull it up right now, but in the video, it's an episode of Cheaters. And you know what? I sent this video to my sister, so I wonder if I can pull it up real quick. But I'll just explain it to you. In this episode of Cheaters, this Black guy had these two white girls, and he cheated on the white girls with a Black woman. And those white girls were like, how dare you get with that Black bitch? How dare you want to leave with that Black bitch, right? Because in their minds, they feel that the Black woman is lesser than them. So why would you want to go down and be with this monkey, right? So when you were in this conversation with these biracial women, they weren't expressing the hurt of feeling like their community was abandoned by society's preference. They were expressing the white supremacy and dominance of, how dare you be with that Black monkey? They weren't acting like Black women, they were acting like white women. They were exalting their white superiority and pushing it onto you like, why don't you be with mixed? So that's the thing that is confusing to me.
Well, it's two different conversations. The conversation that's being shown in the text message is a different conversation than the other one. So again, the conversation in the text message, we were talking about how biracial women hate biracial men, and how biracial women have been bashing me and other biracial men for having Black spouses and defending our Black spouses and Black women in general on our channels. And I was trying to compare that to how a lot of Black women feel some type of way about Black men having a different, a non-Black spouse. That's all that conversation was about.
Okay. Well, you know,
Like
I got,
I can email you the rest of the screenshots from there, because
yeah,
that's just one small bit of an entire conversation that took place in my Discord.
right. The only, and you see, the only way that I knew, because
Oh, sorry.
when I asked you to give context to it, you were the one who talked about the monkey reference. And then now you're saying that these are
Yes.
different conversations, but this is your example. This is what you brought up. You added that monkey and Yeti to the conversation. You added that.
Yeah, I added that because I wanted to give you background on the type of women, biracial women, mixed race women that were trying to that I sent you this information. Like I have screenshots of that too from my own Discord, of them calling my wife those things, of them saying that I should divorce my Black wife and
Yeah,
marry
but you
a mixed
see,
race woman.
but you're the one who's conflating, and I'll tell you what you're conflating. You're conflating a conversation that existed off air, outside of our purview, from people we don't know that we never saw make these comments. And you're adding that into a conversation that you say is about something totally different. You say that the
I
text
added
first,
okay.
first I asked you to add, to give context to the written message, right? And the context that you gave was about the Yeti and the monkey, etc. But that has no bearing on that particular text. It has no bearing on it. It has nothing to do with it, according to you. So that's the part that just doesn't align. It doesn't add up. You're the one that's mixing in two different conversations to add credence to a message that you wrote about Black women, and adding Black women into a
No, it's not.
conversation in which we really didn't need to be in. Why did we have to get dragged into this conversation about some biracial women expressing their superiority?
That wasn't because I was giving you context on the type of people that were trying to paint me in a certain way. That's all that was.
Okay. All right. Well, I will move on from there. I mean, I hope everybody got their answer that they needed from that. I don't feel as if I got any type of I don't feel as if I got any clarity from that. But you said you're going to add a whole bunch of, screenshots that add into the conversation, which we don't have available right now. So I'm just telling you, as a person who read it, it looked like an insult to black women. Like black women were added into a conversation. For what reason? Why did we have to be dragged into that? Why did we have to be dragged into a conversation between you and some biracial women acting like biracial women?
Because I was making a comparison to two situations. That's all that was. If y'all want to drag me that down somewhere because I made a comparison, oh, well, even maybe it wasn't the best choice of words, but I made that comparison.
Listen,
It is what it is. If y'all don't like it, if you're offended by it, then I apologize for that. But that wasn't my intention. My intention was to make that comparison.
black women don't bash black men without cause.
I never said they did without cause.
You did when you implied that you don't know why biracial women would bash biracial men. You said that it was that you don't understand why, and
I
you compared it to the
I
type of
told you why
bashing
they.
that black women
Well,
do it.
sorry, I told you why they were bashing the biracial men. They were bashing us because we had black spouses.
Right, but that has nothing to do with black women because black women do not bash black men for having white spouses for the same reasons that a white woman would bash a white man for having a black spouse.
Well, I again, I was making a comparison to that dynamic. If I was wrong on the dynamic, then I was wrong on the dynamic. But I was making a comparison from that.
All right. I'll go ahead and move on because it's like you don't see it. And it's like we're
No,
going in
I
circles
go ahead.
because you don't see it. It's like black women had nothing to do with that. And you were wrong for dragging us into a conversation. We are already a beleaguered group of women. And you drag us in a conversation to compare people with white privilege to us who are bashing you with their white superiority, their embedded white superiority. You dragged black women into a conversation where we had no business being dragged into the conversation. You in your comment, you compared them to us in the ways that we talk about black men, but we don't talk about black men without cause. In the same way that you talk about your black father, in the same way that you make mention of the wrongs that he's done. Black women are not just going up without just cause talking about the injustices in our community. Black women are not just going around bashing black men for the hell of it. They're not going around being like, "Oh, you got a white woman,
I
you
never said
know,
any of that.
this is what you're implying by saying that a person with white privilege
No,
is behaving like a black woman."
that was again you're taking a small bit of a conversation, and I said I
Okay.
was comparing it to my from what I see of that dynamic. I don't live that dynamic. From what I see of that dynamic, that is what I was comparing it to. And you are trying to make it this super huge big thing that it's really not.
Am I? And I think, you know
Yes,
what?
you are.
Listen, please. One thing that I really do not want you to do is I don't want you to dismiss what it is that I'm saying because I am a supporter of yours. I've promoted your videos, I've promoted your music, I've promoted your channel. I am a supporter. And as a supporter, I am telling you that there are things that you have a blind spot to in this conversation. And out of love, I am having this conversation with you. And you are telling me that I am, quote unquote, trying to do something. You want me to be very honest with you with what it is that I'm trying to do? Don't you? listen to hear, not to respond. You want to know what I'm trying to do? I am trying to give you the floor so that you could add context and that you could come out on this conversation glowing. But what has happened is I have given you the floor, trying to give you the opportunity to come out glowing. And you have turned me. You, not somebody else, not somebody in the comments, because when I first started this video, I had a problem with that young lady. When I first started this video, it wasn't until I spoke to you and you were dismissive of me and you were hopping around and switching things up and trying to pretend as if it's only haters. And I'm telling you, you're talking to Tonya, and Tonya supported you. And now you're telling me what I'm trying to do when I was trying to actually listen. I gave you grace. I gave you a platform. I gave you a floor, and I gave you an opportunity to clean up your words. And what you did instead was you stuck your foot in your own mouth. This was an opportunity for you to come out on the other side glowing. Floor is yours, bro.
No, it came across like as y'all were attacking me for a conversation that was sent to you by people that literally attacked my wife. They literally attacked every aspect of me being married to a black woman, and it feels extremely one-sided. And I appreciate the fact that you've been promoting my videos, and I love you for that. It's just I feel that this was an ambush, that it was completely one-sided, and I tried to explain several times. I'm not a black woman. I don't know how you feel about the stuff how you feel about what you read. I can tell you that I didn't mean it that way. I can tell you that I was trying to make a comparison, but you're gonna feel whatever way you want to feel about it, you
That
know,
is not true.
and then I respect that. You have the right to feel about it. And you're right, black women go through a lot, but black women get dragged all the time. And that was, and myself being married to a black woman, that is does not what I was trying to do at all. You know, I was trying to make a comparison to that, and I feel that that's not being seen. All I feel is, oh, you said black women, so you're insulting black women. That was not the point I was trying to make. And if you felt that way, you personally, from me to you, if you felt that way, then I apologize to you. But that's not the point I was trying to make at all. And it feels like it's being turned into something that was never was.
Wow. Listen. And you know what? Thank you for, listen, there's no reason for you to guess how it is that I feel. You're in a conversation with me. I'm telling you how I felt reading the statement. And I've been telling you that for like the past 40 minutes. Because we've been on this for a long time. And you saying that it felt like an ambush, I don't
It did.
know I don't know what it is that you were perceiving when you came on here. I gave you ample opportunity to be able to discuss your daughters, to talk about the fact that you all had black dolls. And then I gave you the opportunity to clarify your statements. And you are saying that you felt as if you were ambushed. Ambushed by what? By what? I was
At,
just sent
okay.
this. I was just sent this. And right before you came on, I was just sent this. And I was hoping that, and you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I really thought, based on what it is that I've seen in your videos and from what it is that I have known of you publicly, I really thought that there would have been some expert explanation to your own words. But what I got in return was deflection, accusation, conflation, and dismissal. You dismissed me, and you're saying, well, however you're going to feel, you're going to feel. I gave you the opportunity to be able to have a discussion. It's not like we came on and we were talking and you never had the opportunity to even present your side. I really thought this was going to be an opportunity for you to come out glowing. I gave you this platform to talk. And so go ahead, say whatever it is that you want to respond to.
Well, I was, yeah. Again, I explained I explained that particular comment. I think it was conflated. to be something it's not. And I've never had any ill will against black women. I got a lot of haters from that space, from that golden sphere space that I was a part in, and this is just another example of that. Um, if you felt, because again, like I've been talking to you offline and online, and I appreciate your support. And if you felt like some type of way about that comment, then I'm sorry you felt that way. That's not what I meant by it. And I felt that every time I tried to explain it, it went off into another direction. And I can say that whenever I had conversations with those two particular women, I said a lot. I was very frustrated because a lot of things that they were saying about my wife, and I'll post those comments on my community tab from them on my own page. And so that can be clear about a lot of the things I was bombarded with from those two particular women in general, and some other biracial women in that space, about my wife, about being married to a black woman, and everything that I said was in defense of my wife, and that particular comment was from a different conversation. But then I appreciate you for having me on, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, I think this is a lost opportunity for you, honestly. This is a lost opportunity for you because this is an opportunity for you to be able to introspect. You keep talking about how it is that you did not mean it. However, I am telling you from reading that comment that there is ingrained bias against black women in that comment. Black women were brought
Oh, I'm
into a
sorry.
black women were brought into a conversation for which we had no reason to be in that conversation. You're saying that you're defending black women, but you're defending black women by saying that biracial women are just black women with white parents. We had no reason to be dragged into that. And listen, I'm telling you, Jesse, from one human being to another, right? You have some internal bias inside of you that you are going to have to look within to clean up because you don't see it. And we're having a conversation with you, and you're not taking this opportunity to be able to self-reflect and see it. And you know what? I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm going to allow you to go and continue on with your evening. But I'm telling you, there's some things that you have a blind spot to, some biases that you have against black women that you're not acknowledging because you love your black wife and you love and you have all of this love, etc. Right? However, there's some biases that you don't seem to be aware of. And this is an opportunity for you to take some time, if you choose, to self-reflect.
There was no biases, Tonya. It's just y'all are.
Oh,
I
wow,
explained
really?
time
So
and
you're
time
so you're
again,
saying you refuse to self-reflect.
because I'm not gonna reflect
Okay.
on something that was taken out of context. That's not
Okay.
that's not what I meant, or whatever. I explained time and time again, and but you want me to say it the way the way
No,
that you see it, and that's
I
not
don't
how
even
I
want
see
you to
it.
say anything.
I'm the
I
one.
just want you
I'm the
to
one that
take some
conversation.
time off of this and just self-reflect. That's all I want. Is for you to take some time after you get off of here and self-reflect. And you're saying that there's no need to. But I can tell you this, right? Maybe you don't respect me. Maybe you think I'm just one of these people who call black women monkeys or something. Maybe you don't respect what it is that I'm saying. But if
I
you
never said that.
okay, do you respect me?
I do respect you, Tanya.
Okay,
We've had
listen,
this
listen, listen, and this
conversation
and listen, hold on.
very
And this
playfully.
goes this goes for anybody out there. When somebody who you respect tells you or asks you to self-reflect, out of what it is that you know of them and the respect that you have for them, take some time to self-reflect. If a person you respect asks you to, because in this life, there's a lot of growth that we all have to do. And there's a lot of people who were saying a lot of different things. We can't just chalk everybody up as a hater. If there's a person that we respect who asks us to self-reflect, please, I'm asking all of you out there to take the opportunity. And I'm not saying this for anybody. A bum on the street asks you to self-reflect, you may not need to do that. But if a person you respect asks you to self-reflect, Take a few moments to self-reflect. All
I just
right.
think you're wrong on this. That's all. I,
I think
I love your content. I appreciate you. I love you promoting my songs and stuff. I just think that you're wrong on this, and that's how I feel on it.
I'm just one person, right? But there's 1,000 people on this broadcast, right?
Yes.
And I think that this is an opportunity for you to maybe perhaps take a survey. You have your own platform that's growing right now. Why don't you take a survey on your platform with the people who do support you so that you can't say that they're haters? Go to your platform then and post up your comment and ask the Black women there how they feel about it. But the answers that you get, listen to what it is that I'm saying. Weigh the answers from the people whom you respect with more weight. All right? That's all me see.
Well, I'm saying that the haters. I'm not calling you a hater or anyone in the comments. I'm calling the two women specifically that have been trying to push this are haters. That's all I've been saying. You
You're
know,
you're
I'm not.
dismissing, you're dismissing. I'm just saying take some time to self-reflect. You're saying that you refuse. So what can I do? Thank you so much for coming on. You have a
Right.
great rest of your evening.
You too.
This was a difficult conversation which was recorded live. If you'd like to be a part of the show with thousands of other viewers, join my text notification squad at tonyatko.com/text and get a text whenever I go live. I'll see you on the next broadcast. Thank you.